Welcome back, Shelby Volo, joining us from Abbott Wealth Management on this Wednesday afternoon. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're talking about retirement, a very exciting time for a lot of people. Finally, they get the freedom they have been desiring, but sometimes people make bad decisions upon retirement, Shelby.
Yes, sometimes they do. So I have a slide here with the 10 top reasons people are making some mistakes. So the first one is not changing your lifestyle after retirement. So a lot of people will keep spending that same income they're used to spending because it's hard to make that transition. So ways to avoid that would be to plan a long-term budget that includes travel. So if you're expecting to do all these trips, make sure you save a travel budget for that. Track your spending to see where the bulk of your money is going right now, but while you're still making money. So then you can kind of cut that down accordingly. Decide if you still need a second vehicle. So some people don't really need it anymore, but they keep it just because, and then you're paying all those servicing fees for it.
That's a huge expense. I know some
really
people,
is.
even my age, that share a vehicle as a married couple, and it is a huge money saver.
I totally agree.
If you can swing it.
Exactly. And then one of the other points was, well, if you have a lot of extra space in your house, why not suite your basement and get some extra money in your retirement? And that could be spent on travel as well, right?
Sure.
So that's nice. Number two, so failing to update or change your financial plan. So this is a big one. This isn't something you should be changing the day you retire. It should be something you should be changing along the way up to retirement and getting out of those heavily weighted risky funds and start going more conservative. The next one is applying for government benefits too soon. So
do this.
So when you take your CPP before age 65, it's going to greatly diminish it, right? As if you waited to 65. And people with pensions maybe should wait until they're 65 or later to start taking their CPP because they don't really need that money. Many people are miscalculating the amount of years that they're going to live after retirement, which is interesting. 67% are wrong about it, underestimating by 5 years or more. And 1/3 of retirees are living to the age of 92, which means you have to cover around 27-year non-working period. That's a long time.
It is.
The next one is underestimating medical expenses. So a lot of people think I'm healthy, it's never going to happen to me. The government's going to cover a lot of my health-related expenses via MSP. The thing is a lot of things are excluded from MSP sometimes, so not all of them are covered. So it might be in people's best interest to get a medical dental plan privately to cover off that cost.
We have about 30 seconds to go through these next ones, so maybe just pick the next
one. Sounds good. So failure to be aware of fraud and scams. Retirees are the biggest targeted people for that. So make sure you have someone you trust to run everything by before you do it. Not being tax effective. So some people might have 5 RIF accounts. You have to take the minimum from every single one. Whereas if you had one, you know, it makes it simpler. So make sure you're being tax effective and you have one advisor. Not having a plan, there is a heavy amount of people that don't have a plan or have saved $25,000 or less excluding their home value, which is a pretty big number there. Supporting adult working children, maybe don't do this because your income potential to earn back is greatly diminished now. Putting money in the wrong places, that would be things earning you 0.25%, maybe GICs in this low interest rate environment, eroding your value. And lastly, not staying active socially and physically, which they've found a lot of health-related issues with this if you aren't staying active.
Right, so you got to keep active, stay social. It keeps you, keeps you young at heart.
Yes.
Awesome. Some great tips there. A lot of tips, but all of them very valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
AbbottWealth.com. You can also email info@abbottwealth.com. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.